Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for May 20th, 2021, Thursday, 3 p.m. Eastern. We have a reverse aging call tomorrow night at 9 p.m. The more, the more creative you become, the more godly you become. When your creativity becomes to a climax, when each moment of your life is filled with creativity, you live in God. Osho. Enlightenment is simply realizing again and again how to remain non-identified with one's ego. Enlightenment is simply realizing again and again and again how to remain non-identified with one's ego. The enlightened state is a pure seeing and understanding how the ego is the greatest illusion of them all. And to ultimately know and become identified with the real self, which is that cannot be threatened, is the only true path to total freedom there is. All paths lead to some form of suffering. It requires no basic standard of ethics, codes of spirituality, or religious background needed to arrive. You simply experience yourself as the essence of consciousness that you naturally are. The ego, who we think we are, has some truth to it. Yet it's just not a very big truth. It's a smaller truth, which only castrates our ability to expand into love, trust, and feeling of oneness. Our egos are fear-based. They're a fear-based program, and they're they're based in the opposite experience of trust. Understand that. Ego is a fear-based program that is based in the opposite experience of trust. So whenever we are living in trust 24 hours a day, that's not a super easy thing to do. So whenever we're living in trust 24 hours a day, we start accessing all the wisdom and knowledge known to all the saints, masters, and enlightened beings in history. We step into the greatest experience of our lives. We find our real, true selves. And then we know that we are the real masters of our destiny. You see, you literally can plug in when you live in trust 24 hours a day. You'll be able to plug into the wisdom and knowledge known to all the saints, masters, and enlightened beings in history. Now, when we know our real nature, we can allow life to play its ego personality role through us, and then somehow not get in the way. We can sit back, go with the flow, and enjoy the ride. Sit back, go with the flow, really, truly go with the flow. Some people say, well, I go with the flow, but they don't really. So we sit back, go with the flow, enjoy the ride. We can remain fascinated by life, learning how we are here to serve others and take care of our body, and simply let the all-intelligent life force move through us. The state of perpetual enjoyment of life is real mastery. And when we remain free from all forms of ego identification, we cannot help but to enjoy all aspects of life. We allow a greater love to always guide our course and help us live with ease and grace in every way. The moment you start seeing life as non-serious, a playfulness, all the burden on your heart disappears. All the fear of death, of life, of love, everything disappears. one starts living with a very light weight or almost no weight. So weightless one becomes. One can fly in the open sky, Osho. The choiceless truth of who you are is revealed to be permanently here, permeating everything, not a thing, and not separate from anything. Gagaji. We're like a divine orchestra of spiritual energy and consciousness, and it's happening all around us, all of the time. We aren't always aware of it because our minds are so distracted and busy with those all too important things of this physical world. It's only when everything stops from some seemingly random event that we are thrown back to our real selves and can see, feel, and taste the bigger picture. And in a few brief moments, the mind drops its game and we understand how to divinely perfect everything, how perfect everything is. To not value the gift of a human incarnation is like trading a diamond for a head of cabbage. The divine perfection of universal orchestra is always on a perfect beat. It's continuously humming along and exploding into every even more perfection, especially when we are in a bad mood and cannot see it or where it is happening. We are always within the womb of this universal beat, always connected with everyone, everywhere, in every dimension of time and space, all the time. When we open ourselves up to this possibility, then each moment we are able to see the real truth. We know how every moment can only be a spiritual merging experience of universal synchronicity in our soul's destiny. Excuse me. Open your mind and heart to feel the connection with someone you know or would want to know, who is very dead or very alive. Reach out to that wild, free being who is somewhere in the universe. Just do it as an exploration to possibly awaken that same wild, free being within you. Just pick anyone who your heart would have to stretch beyond its normal limitations to open up and connect with them. Invite that special person into your heart space and imagine that this individual is here now, fully available to be with only you in this moment. You can drop the doubting, skeptical mind by just focusing on the vibration and feeling of trust. Let your heart relax into the experience and reach into the emotional connection you most wish to have. So I think that if you just practice this for even a few minutes, you'll be surprised to find out that something magical starts to happen. You may not realize the depth of the magic which arises initially, yet stick with it. And for wherever attention goes, energy flows. Whatever experience you have is what was destined to happen. Anything can happen from just this simple intention and practice to break through the limitations of our doubtful, time-bound minds. The inner journey you'll have is completely worth it in the end. So enjoy it. How long does it take to reach liberation? It is not to be gained in the future. It is there forever, here, forever, here and now. Realization is for everyone. Realization makes no difference between the aspirants. This very doubt you have, whether you are realized or not, with the notion, I have not realized, are themselves the obstacles to realization. Be free from these obstacles and see who you truly are, Ramana Maharishi. When ego is lost, limit is lost. You become infinite, kind, and beautiful. We have the ability, across the board, each of us, every one of us, to live in truth and to plug in to all the particles of existence. And that means everything, everywhere. That means all civilizations. That means all universes. That means everything. Where you can literally interact with all the particles of existence. Imagine that. Interacting with all the particles of existence, all the civilizations, all the species. And you have no expectations and no attachments to this outer world. Now, it doesn't mean that you're hermitized somewhere in a cave, and that you don't come out in the outer world. You just said, the outer world's not there, and I'm just going to live in this cave. You interact. The outer world, we all do, but you don't attach to it. You don't expect from it. If you could turn, and when you realize this, that you can, when you turn within and you drop your expectations and attachments, and then you forgive every aspect of yourself, inside and out, and love every part of yourself, the good, the bad, and the indifferent, and you stay within, then everything you have sought outside of yourself will come to you. That's guaranteed. Period. Now, do we control our destiny? Do we control our destiny? Do you believe that you control your destiny? Or, like in the quantum world, are we all particles of the one existence, operating in an illusion of separation? And everything we do, in eventuality, leads us to the same place. Is that, would you say, a predestined? Or are we even concerned about our destinies? Are we more in tune to the now, the present moment? And whatever is down the road is down the road. To be able to stay focused in truth, in the now, with no expectations or attachments, is one heck of an accomplishment. Because that then connects to deep eternal love, gratitude, and peace. And picture yourself in that, in the truth, living the truth, 24/7, in the now, living moment to moment, the space between heartbeats. You'd be amazed on what would transpire should you decide to commit to that. We all know that the transition of this planet and the civilization is in a high accelerated path. And we know that we are the ones that are contributing to that transition. And the transition is exactly what we desire. A life's paradise. There isn't really not a life paradise. Because remember, you, all of us, move energy into form. We are moving energy 24/7. We're never not. We are creating 24/7. We are never not creating. But the majority of us are kind of like in a stasis bubble where we're still enthralled, captivated, and distracted by the external world. Who created that external world? We did. Who actually has created everything? Well, we as part of the collective consciousness have created, we just about created everything. So there's no question or doubt of our power. And there shouldn't be really any question or doubt of understanding that you stay within, that you focus within you. You focus with the God that you are. And it really shifts things. Are you concerned about not having? If you're concerned about not having, you will immediately know that that's the ego. You feel like at times that you must express things to others, what you've done, what you've accomplished, what your wealth pattern is, all of those things. If you do, that's the ego. If you're compelled to really embellish or build up anything, that's the ego. When we come to the understanding that we are the God, we are deep eternal love, gratitude, and peace, and we already know that we can command the universe. You can try a little test for yourselves. You can intend, like you normally do, because where the ego mind gets involved with that, and see what happens. That's the head, your intention through the head. Or you can also intend through the heart. It's tricky though, because the ego mind's really, really good at deceiving us. So you might feel that you are coming from the heart mind, when in actuality you're coming from the ego mind. But when you can stay in place with your God in this now, and begin to do it more and more, until you are on automatic and you do it all the time. When you come to the realization that someone comes to you and says, well, hey, Alan, what do you think, where do you see yourself 5 years from now? And Alan says, I have no clue. That is not my interest. My interest is the now. Now, some people look at you like you're crazy, but who cares? Who cares what others think of you? Really, that's the ego. Worrying about being accepted, that's the ego. Fitting in, that's the ego. You can see, as a civilization, how things have been misdirected, misguided to externality, when all along it has been about internality. Does it make sense to be one with the God that you are, rather than trying to chase things out there incessantly, lifetime after lifetime? Ask yourself those questions. Are you really free, or you just feel that the ego mind is expressing that illusion that you are? Do you truly love yourself, or is that the ego mind expressing that to you? We can shift ourselves on a dime. We really can. When the ego is lost, we have no limit. We become infinite, kind, and beautiful when the ego is lost. That means that you know the ego. You understand it because you have viewed it. See, this is how the ego becomes our ally. It becomes our servant. And the same with the mind. But intention, it comes from the heart, connected directly to you, the God. So when you're creating energy, moving energy into form, manifest it again, into reality, you begin to realize is that, well, I literally can draw anything I care to me. And you can draw the bad stuff too. You could draw bad stuff for years throughout your life and not even know you're drawing it. You think that it's something external that's causing this disruption in your life for so long. And what it really is, it's you. How imperative is it, ask yourself this, how imperative is it for me to not move into negativity, pessimism, cynicism? How important is that? Do we need to recover from happiness? No. No. Do we need to recover from negativity? Yes. We're angry, frustrated, and irritable towards ourselves. It takes a while to heal from that. It takes a while to recover from that. And that's the point. And so while we're still recovering, we're emanating a frequency that's telling the universe, give me more of this crap. So my life can be even more challenging and disruptive. Isn't it funny how many people have said to themselves, is this all there is? There's got to be more than this. Speaking, external world, there's got to be more than this in this life. You ever caught yourself saying that, or someone else saying it? And the only reason that happens is because we're not connected. That individual, or whoever it is not connected to the God within them. How can we ever be bored in these bodies in this life? How can you ever be bored? Because when you're really plugged in to all the particles of existence, it's fascinating. Every single second, it never gets old because it's always transforming and changing, metamorphing. It's always moving. And we are always learning. When you get in a negative mood, what do you do? What do you do when you get in a negative mood? Not easy. How do we get out of it? How do we get out of it? You shift. It's real simple. You lose the ego, you move into joy. When you discover the divine being that you truly are in that body, all this other stuff, it absolutely melts away. It really does. It's not an illusion. Every single bad mood that you get in, you are manifesting it. Now, like I said, a lot of us may think that, well, something outside of you is responsible for your happiness or unhappiness. Yet ultimately, It all comes down to how you are responding. Are you seeing it as your teacher or your enemy? And this elusive happiness that we continually seek, it's always about the lens we are looking through. Truly enjoying this life is about taking radical responsibility for the state you're in, exploring what this negative experience is teaching spiritually you, and when finding out the fastest way to let it go. Once you can say, I'm the one creating this negative experience of my life, then half of the great battle is over. Think you get angry or something? Frustrated? You literally turn within and say, I'm the one creating this negative experience of my life. Then you step back from whatever you're resisting, fighting, judging, or hating, and see that actually it is just a bunch of thoughts. Your problems ultimately boil down to ideas that are ultimately passing through the synapses of your brain. Whatever wrong thing you think is happening out there is always happening primarily inside your mind in here. And the more resistance, judgment, and anger you built up around this particular idea, out there, the greater joy you will feel when you shift your relationship with it inside yourself. And then you move on. The moment you learn how to let go of being right about how horrible something or someone is, you discover how good it feels to be wrong. Life seems to always provide the perfect climax at the end. And then you move towards releasing your negative mood and returning to the source of who and what you spiritually are. The God. Truly. Who and what you are is the God. You're not your name, or what others think of you, or this physical body filled with meat, blood and emotional bones. You're the God. Now, if we believe that we are our thoughts, then we ask ourselves who and what is watching and listening to them go by. And the watcher is the real you. You're not any of these thoughts. None of them. You just become too close to your thoughts and you get overly identified with them. The very moment that we return to who and what we are, this pure consciousness, witness, who abides at the very source of thought, then we are home free. This is when we just literally, truly, and deeply relax fully into our bodies so that there is no tension hiding inside us anywhere. And when we can fully relax inside, we become deeply aware beings again. It's easy to see how insignificant and fleeting thoughts actually are. Like a dragonfly cruising past you. One moment it's right there buzzing in your face, and in the breath, gone. When our body is relaxed, we can see how fleeting each thought is and how easy it is to completely change them. This is where we're going. This is where this civilization is moving. Now, there's a lot of different facets of understanding and comprehending of who and what we are along this journey. But we begin to understand that it's futile to incessantly be outside of who you are. When you embrace who and what you are, and you do it from the heart fully, then your entire existence here will change massively. How would you feel if let's say you're walking down the street, and you know, because you're within you, you're not outside yourself, that you know that you can literally create anything you desire. Doesn't matter what it is. I'm thirsty. I'll create some water. I'm hungry. I'll create some food. You see? This is when we reside truly, deeply, with unmitigated trust, compassion, gentleness, and kindness. This is how we shift here. It's our perspectives. It's how we view things. It's what our responsiveness is. It's what our emotional base is. And then we have our clinical base. But to move into knowing that you are a master creator, that you can just really, truly, wherever you put your attention, you move things in motion. You create. Whatever it is you're intending. You are the power of thought. You are the power of God. When you embrace that fully, you will not have any worries, stresses, fears, anxieties at all, period. Nothing. They won't be there. They won't exist. They won't be able to exist. That's when you let go. That's when you really don't need any external authority, any external attachment, any externality telling you where and what and how and when. The first thing that we care to do is to relax our bodies, to be in a place where we're not interrupted in relaxing our bodies. In order to relax your body, you got to let go of all this stuff that we drag with us, all these things. Now, when you have trust in who and what you are, it isn't difficult to let go. And when I'm talking about trust, not only in the God that you are, but also the universe. You trust that the universe is going to have your back all the way through everything, then it's a different ballgame. But if you're worried constantly, and you're saying, well, I can't, I'm not going to do that, I won't be able to do it, I'm not going to do that. And so you're able to relax the body because you realize that you're not the body, that you're the God within the body. So the God is the watcher and is watching the body, and that's you. You're the watcher. You're the God. So you're watching the body. And you release all this negative, emotional crap, garbage that we collect for ourselves. And when we do that, we've experienced a real lightness, a floatiness, because all of that stress, fear, anxiety is gone in that moment, in that now. You know, I'm worried about this, worried about that, when's going to do this, then going to do this. No hurry. So as you relax the body and you release all of the anxiety, stresses, fears, worries, and so the body's kind of like in this stasis. This is when we move into the now. And the now is really and truly all that we have. We don't have the past. The past is long gone, dead. We don't have the future because we create the future in the now. Now, we reminisce. We've got, thoughts of things that we've experienced that are kind of fun to visit on occasion because it's uplifting and positive. So that's what we do. The now is the space between heartbeats. Only the moment. And this, by being in the now, does the very thing that we are looking for ourselves to do. Still the mind, still the ego, still the subconscious mind. And whatever else that you wish to still. When we still the mind, we can master the mind. If the mind is constantly in action and motion, we are not going to master the mind. We are not going to master the ego. It will master us and continually pull us in every direction, and it has an insatiable appetite that's never fulfilled. This is part of our process. This is part of what we select in our ascension. To become fully aware of who and what we are and embrace that of which we are. And not leave it alone. And you'll watch all the other stuff will just vaporize. It'll just disappear. We all are looking for ourselves to participate in this grand transition, this ultimate frequency of pure, deep, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. And to permeate everything with that understanding. People say, well, you got to think. You got to think. You can't just walk around with a blank stare in your face. Well, you think through the heart. And then you tell the ego mind what you want to have created. That's a big difference. No matter how hard your ego tries to fight that, when you finally accept who and what you are, you literally manifest anything into form whenever you want, then you're not lonely from yourself. Now, some of us, we'll go into the past, but we don't really stay there. We kind of visit a couple things, and then we leave. But some of us will stay in the past, and they live the past. And they literally stay there, and they take it, and they bring it into a future that doesn't exist. And they create that life from that past through the future that doesn't exist. So they take that past life, they bring it into a future that doesn't exist. They create that future from that past and relive that past in that future. I don't think any of us want to care to do that. This is why they'll say to themselves, no matter what I do, it seems like I always end up in the same place. Because they do, in a way. Others of us will go into a future that doesn't exist, asking why and when. When can I expect this to happen? You ever heard that statement? When can I expect this to happen? And then people don't have the confidence to tell you that when you can expect it to happen, because they aren't confident and trusting in who and what they are. So we're only in the now. And to stay in the now, we can focus on our breath. Our breath is divine positive energy. It literally, in a way, sustains the vessel that the God is in. The soul enters the body, powers the body, which then allows the body to power the breathing. So the breath is divine positive energy. Focuses us, relaxes us, strengthens us. Does a lot of things. So whenever you're wandering off into thoughts, we all do that. We don't know why. I mean, some of the thoughts are so ridiculous that you really know that they're not yours. And you just kind of float off with them out of the now. So what you do is you focus on the breath to keep you in the now. It's not a difficult thing to do. And every time you do that, you're 3,000% guaranteed to be in the now. Now, you remember the body, you're cradling the body. You, the God, the watcher, you're cradling the body. You are not the body. The body's totally relaxed. And you look at the body and you see these lights. And they really are lights. You know, if you guys really want to see your auras, there's a special kind of camera they use, and it'll take a picture of you, but it'll show what your current status of your aura is, which ones are more prevalent than others. You know, if you have a lot of orange in your aura, it means that you're learning, that you're literally learning, educating yourself in this life. The real deep purple and the vibrant blue, those are the lights like the indigo and the throat chakra. And you know something? That you, the God, flows through these 7 conduits that go up the center of our bodies from our tailbone, top of our head. Your God flows through those conduits and spreads out and affects all your organs, all your emotions, everything. But there's an interesting thing here. The God is not aware, because the God is always learning, that there are some things that, like the red wheel of light, the root chakra, deals with our survival, and is blocked by fear. So the God, cannot move because that is blocked. And it's a self-discovery. It says there's no reason for me to have fear. I am the God. I am the love. I am the peace. I am the joy. See, so you eliminate the fear, and then you continue. You're able to, the God, you move through. You go to the orange wheel of light, right? Sacral chakra. This deals with our pleasure, blocked by guilt. Why do we have guilt? What reason would any of us have guilt that block ourselves, the gods that we are, from flowing through the body? There's no such thing as it. The ego mind creates the guilt. And then we move to the yellow wheel of light. This is our willpower. It's the solar plexus chakra. And what is it blocked by? See, it's blocked by shame, another ego mind generating thought. Then we move to the emerald green wheel of light. This is the heart chakra, the anahata. This is our ability to love. It's pretty self-explanatory. And what blocks it? Grief. You cannot love ever if you're in grief. Why would we be in grief? In the material world, grief seems to be quite prevalent. Not knowing who and what we are, so we grieve the soul leaving the body instead of celebrating. Interesting. Then we move to the blue wheel of light. This is the throat chakra, the Vishuddha. This is our ability to basically talk, communicate, express our feelings and emotions, tell the truth. And that's what's interesting. It deals with the truth and it's blocked by lies. So you as the God, if that happens and it is blocked by lies, you're not going to be able to flow through the throat chakra because it's blocked. Then we have the indigo wheel of light, which basically it deals with our insight. This is the ajna, the third eye chakra. This is our sense of purpose and seeing the big picture. And it is blocked by illusion. So our insight, intuition, is blocked by illusion. Isn't that amazing? So we block ourselves. The God is blocked by illusion. And then we go to the crown chakra, the Sahasrara. This is our direct connection to our God, you, to you. That connects you to you, the God that you are, to the divine, to the cosmos, cosmic energy. That's what it deals with. And it's blocked by ego attachment. This is a wonderful education for all of us as we continue to ascend in the higher frequencies, because without knowing this, how are we going to ascend? Now, we have our divine positive energy, our breath, and we have our God Force love light energy, and we move them, and we're like a fountain, an energy fountain, these bodies. And so the energy, the God, the soul, flows through, and then it springs up to the crown chakra like an energy fountain, and then it comes back down to the root chakra, the tailbone, and goes all the way back up again. It's perpetual. So we condense and compress the pure liquid energy of the God, you, and the divine positive energy, the breath, and we compress them. We hold them for a short period of time. We are one. We are God. We are love. And in that short period of time, the God, the pure God energy that you are, which is also the breath, is poured over the pineal gland. And it's so omnipotently powerful, we all are, that it transforms that pineal gland. And you can view the pineal gland through your heart, mind's motion picture any way you choose. I see it as a green ball, a rose bud. And when I pour this liquid energy over it, immediately, instantaneously transforms into a massive, fully bloomed rose with a wonderful fragrance and multicolored petals. And it is sending out these shimmering waves of energy that saturate me. And this literally communicates to me that I am the rose is me. And these shimmering waves of just deep, eternal love, and deep, eternal gratitude, and deep, eternal peace. It identifies me as the God. It communicates with me that rose is me, I am the rose. And I am the God. It's phenomenal. It's like these bodies that we're in, right? The heart mind, the ego mind. All of these different constructs. The God, the pure consciousness. all one. And we are heaven on this earth. The soul, right? Higher self, the spirit, all of it. We, the soul, heaven on earth. The body's the earth, the soul is the heaven. Every step we take, we're creating paradise. We cannot not create paradise. But if you view it through the ego mind, it's a whole different picture. But if you view it through your God, that of which you are, it is paradise. And we shine our God force, love, light, energy in 360 degrees, literally cascading out in every direction. This is pure, deep, eternal love, of which we are, gratitude and peace. And we're flooding all life, the highest supreme value in the universes, head to toe, inside and out. Doesn't matter if parts of us are awake or asleep. We're constantly flooding everything with the God that we are. And we may become fortunate enough in our learning in this life that when we choose to leave these bodies, we will know that we are the light, that we will not follow the light because we are the light. Now, we are parts of each other. All that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. We are all parts of each other. No matter where in existence, no matter what civilization, we are all parts of each other. Some of us are not awake. Others are somewhat awake. Others are just beginning to awake. There really is no race because we're all one. So collective consciousness, the pure consciousness, the God. Now, in this meditation, we reach out to parts of ourselves that are awake. So, the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetype, the ascended masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Sananda Christ, Amoria, Abundantia, Pel, Thoth, Yahweh, Yeshua, many, many, many more. Archangels are a civilization that vibrate at a different frequency than we do. And we don't see them like we see each other, but we do meet with them. And when we meet with them, it's not like, oh, you're an angel. Well, it's like afterwards it just kind of dawns on you that wasn't just a regular, interaction. That was an angel. And they always have the same message. It's just that they deliver it in so many different ways. And it comes out to be, isn't it absolutely magnificent, glorious, spectacular, phenomenal to be alive in these bodies? And the answer is yes, it is. Because it gives our gods the opportunity to learn, experience. Now, the archangels can surround any one of us at any one time in tens of thousands. Because of their vibrational frequency, they can surround any one of us in large numbers in a small area. Now, the ascended masters have mastered ascension into physical form, out of physical form, hold pure consciousness, God form. We have ascended into physical form to master physical form, to create our experiences, to perfect our creations. And all of us are consciously aware that we're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude. And the archangels and the ascended masters are with us now consciously. So we continue to reach out to parts of ourselves that are conscious, that are aware, that are awake. So all the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath earth. Yet, only those that are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, this meditation, form this circle of light, and the complete liberation of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, in this now. Now they come in the billions, and they are with us now consciously. We call upon all the light energy beings out there that are in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. Yet only those who are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude can be with us in this now, in this meditation, forming the circle of light. Now they come in the gogaplexes. One gogaplex fills this entire universe. They come in trillions of gogaplexes from trillions of universe with not 1 inch of sacred space to spare. And they are all with us now consciously. We call upon all the off-worlders, all the galactics, all the celestials, yet only those who are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude can be with us in this now, in this meditation, forming the circle of light and the complete liberation of this planet. Now, we're only familiar with a smidgen of them. Over 1,000 travel through this solar system every day. Trillions travel throughout the universes every day. The ones that we are familiar with, the Pleiadians, the Sirians, the Arcturians, the Andromedans, the Felines, Zeta Reticuli, the Nords, the Greys, the Draco, the Reptilian, the Golden Pyramid, the Avian, and many, many, many more. They've been assisting us in our evolution, in our ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. And they are with us now consciously. We call upon all of our loved ones, all those who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. Yet, only those who are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal loves, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude can be with us in this now, in this meditation, forming the circle of light and the complete liberation of this planet. And they come in the billions, and they're with us now consciously. We call upon all the light energy beings who have decided to be housed in the following forms on and above and below this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. We're only familiar with a smidgen of them. Yet only those who are consciously aware that they're of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude can be with us in this now, in this meditation. And only being familiar with a smidgen of them, they come in shapes, colors, sizes, forms, configurations in the trillions of which we've never seen. And with these eyes, we only see 1% of what is. The ones that we're somewhat familiar with, fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the trolls, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur, and many, many, many more. And they are with us now consciously. So we're all gathered, arm in arm, hand in hand, in full compassion. Non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. And we're all one, and we're all God, and we're all love, and our God force, love, light, energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. We all form a massive circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. This light emanates from the gods that we all are, deep within these bodies. It is so brilliant that it grays out the darkness of sacred space. It would take over 1,000 trillion suns alone just to compare it to its brilliance. And we are flooding this planet, inside and out, above and below, with this deep, eternal love, light, energy. All of our brothers and sisters, whether they're asleep or awake, life, the highest supreme value in the universe, all of them, every single one, endlessly, eternally, always. This planet cannot not be liberated. We begin to ascend above the planet. As we do, we're immediately met with this massive ocean of glitter. It's everywhere. And we see trillions, absolutely uncountable amounts of vibrantly colored lights flashing everywhere, back and forth, all of us gathered. And we look at these reflections, and we notice that they're little mirrors, microscopic mirrors that we can actually enter. And we discover that all of us are teachers and students. We're all learning from each other in this endless journey. Learning and teaching, teaching and learning. It's absolutely phenomenal. We're immediately met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is the column of light that reminds each and every single one of us that we are the power of healing. We are then met with the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is the column of light that reminds us all that we are omnipotently powerful, that we have unlimited strength and resolve. And then we're met with the white fire. This is a column of light that reminds every single one of us that from head to toe, inside and out, 24/7, always, we are imbued with a white fire armor which emanates from the gods that each and every single one of us are. This is a God force, love, light, energy. It cannot be penetrated, cannot be breached. No lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies can even come near it. No demon possessions. Nothing can harm us. Yet, only you have the power that if you decide to lower your vibrational frequency low enough, whether consciously or unconsciously, through hatred, anger, greed, envy, stress, fear, anxiety, you will create a breach in your white fire armor, enough so to allow all the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. Now, if you do decide to do this, you're immediately met with the purple transmuting flame. This is a column of light that transmutes all of these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance. You then send them to pure consciousness where they are vaporized and no more. You're then met with the violet ray. This is a column of light that reminds us all that we can bring in the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame. We can cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, restoring our vibrational harmony of the highest high of deep eternal love, gratitude, and peace. We are then met with the golden white pink light. This is the column of light that reminds us all that we are the sun. We are the sunlight. We are the rain and the rainbows. We are the sunsets and the sunrises. We are the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams. We are the skies, the cloud, the trees, the forests, the soils, the animals. We are everything, and everything is us. So the next time you see a sunset or a sunrise, and you're in awe of it, it is you that you're in awe of. You're the divine perfection. You're the God. We continue to ascend above the planets. Some of us step outside our physical form, hover effortlessly above them, if we're carrying physical form. Why? Because we can. We come into full contact with this massive crystalline light tower of which we created. It's larger than the solar system. In the center of the tower is an oblong sphere. It's huge. Center of the sphere is a golden white ball of light. It's surrounded by numerous colored wheels of light. And they're all sending out these massive waves of like this warm energy, this misty energy that saturates and soaks us all head to toe, inside and out. The golden white ball of light is pure, deep, eternal love. We then have pure, deep, eternal gratitude, pure, deep, eternal peace, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, great prosperity, abundance, well-being, tranquility, benevolence. And it is all you. It is us, the gods. At the top, we designed it so the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees, as it's doing right now and continues to do eternally. This is pure, deep, eternal love. It's flooding all of us and everyone, head to toe, inside and out, nonstop. Infinity. Now, we are drops of this golden ocean. Golden ocean is the drops the golden ocean. We contain the essence of this golden ocean. And the only illusion is separation. We see our meditative sphere at set center circle. We created this sphere over 3 years ago. It holds nearly 1,400 of our meditations in perpetual motion. All of us gathered, hundreds of millions of us, on and off world. Every day, these meditations, with the highest of the highest high intents, of pure, deep, eternal love, pure, deep, eternal gratitude, and pure, deep, eternal peace. Flooding all of us non-stop, head to toe, inside and out. Always. All life, the highest supreme value universe. That's why this ascension is in full swing. That's why the gravity of higher frequencies is taking center stage. That's why this sphere can be seen, heard, and felt, and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. This is why it continues to intensify, and this is why it continues to expand. You choose to end your suffering. Then be within. Stay within. And most of all, trust without even wavering. Trust the God that you are. Trust the universe. That's, of course, if you don't care to have pain and suffering any longer. I'll join you in the meditation and return to close us out. Take an easy breath in through the nose. And an easy breath out through the mouth. Move easily, slowly. This journey that we're all on a continual basis, it's a never-ending journey. It really is our choice to embrace the God within, let go of all the anger, the stress, the fear, the anxiety, the worry that we carry in this outer life. Then the suffering that we experience will be absolutely vaporized permanently by being the gods that we are and not the bodies. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and into the following morning. And we will return here May 21st, 2021, Friday.